Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It is the weekend roundup. I'm still here in my room working. I never thought I'd say this. I miss the office. Alright, so let's talk about Blizzard and a game that's near and dear to my heart, the card game Hearthstone. I've wasted so much money on that game. Now, while you might not play Hearthstone, this story is a good example of how Blizzard really screwed something up that they'd allegedly been working on for a long time. So they released a new expansion this week called Ashes of Outland for Hearthstone. There was a ton of hype around it. There were going to be new cards as usual, but this time we were getting a new hero, the Demon Hunter. Yes! It was a big deal. It was the first new class since the game released in 2014. The Hearthstone team gave this big interview with IGN about how long and how hard they'd worked on making Demon Hunter a reality. Well, this week the expansion launched, so did Demon Hunter, aka Illidan Stormrage, and it was a disaster. Despite all the alleged work they put into the new hero class, it was obvious the Demon Hunter was extremely broken, way more powerful than anyone else. The class had not just one, but several overpowered cards. For example, one card called Imprison Anaton basically destroyed your opponent's board after sleeping for 2 turns and for only 5 mana. What a deal. Why didn't it just kill the enemy hero while it was at it? Like I said, the Demon Hunter had several cards that were just way too overpowered. Not surprisingly, the class immediately began to stomp everyone else. Hearthstone player F2KZeddy posted some stats immediately after the launch that showed Demon Hunter was the only class with a win rate above 55%, which means you couldn't climb the ladder with any other class. That's really bad. In a post on the game's forums, Hearthstone player Tonkwiki said, "Demon Hunter does it all. You simply can't out-tempo it in the early game and will struggle to outvalue it in the late game if you somehow manage to survive that long. The class has so many options, playing against it feels like playing against an adventure boss like the Lich King on Heroic." Which, that last sentence is a sick burn, trust me, he owned him. Alright, in the middle of all this carnage, Blizzard had to very quickly rush out a patch, nerfing not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Demon Hunter cards. They had to scramble, they had to make the update so quickly, you initially didn't even see the changes in your collection of cards, they just popped up when you were playing in the game. It was maybe the quickest nerf I've ever seen in my life. Now, things have calmed down since then, but I have to say, as a Hearthstone player, I've hit Legend a few times. I've played since at least 2015. What the hell, Blizzard? Did you guys not playtest this at all? Why did it seem like a good idea to introduce an aggro class with, I don't know, a ton of card draw? Oh, and some healing options as well. Any scrub could have told you this was a bad idea. And yeah, everyone could play the new overpowered class, which they absolutely did, but if one class is curb stomping your 9 others, that's not good. It seemed like Blizzard did not think this through at all because they were too busy rushing out yet another expansion to get more money out of their player base. Hearthstone has been a cash cow for them. And look, having a new class is great. I'm glad Demon Hunter's here, but card games are always a delicate balancing act, and this chaotic week really showed that Blizzard didn't do their homework despite everything they said. Honestly, it's hard to imagine the old Blizzard doing this. So much for the polish. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077. Lots of people have wondered if it will be next on the delay list, especially after big names like The Last of Us 2 have been pushed back due to the coronavirus. Well, CD Projekt Red says nope. President Adam Kaczynski told investors recently that since mid-March we've been working from home. Yeah, everyone has, dude. While ensuring continuity of all of our operations, he added, "Our goals haven't changed. First and foremost, we intend to release Cyberpunk 2077 in September. We feel motivated and have the necessary tools at our disposal to meet this goal. He also said that the game will have, quote, no less DLC than Witcher 3 had. That is great news because The Witcher 3 had awesome DLC. So, apparently it's still on schedule. They also confirmed that there will be a separate version of the game for next-gen consoles, but they said it won't be a launch game for the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer. For now, Cyberpunk 2077 still due to release September 17th. Fingers crossed. All right, moving on. It's no secret that everyone has Switch mania these days. The portable console is selling out all over the place as we all find ourselves cooped up with lots of free time. Nintendo says that more are on the way. A representative told GamesIndustry.biz Nintendo Switch hardware is selling out at various retail locations in the US, but more systems are on the way. We apologize for any inconvenience. That's okay. You know what? If there's more on the way, I'm just happy more people are playing video games, honestly. In a lot of markets, Switch sales jumped a whopping 150% last month, but of course, that's led to supply issues. A lot of the Switch's parts are made in China. It's cut a lot of its manufacturing, although some are starting to reopen. But yeah, we're definitely seeing supply issues in the US and Europe. A UK retailer told Games Industry that, quote, a lot of people looking for a Switch are instead ordering a PS4 or Xbox One. But even those consoles are in short supply now. Alright, so the survival game Grounded from Obsidian Entertainment is due out in a few months. It's a really cool concept starring you as a character. You're about the size of an ant. You're little and you're in a backyard. You gotta navigate all kinds of insects and bugs. Did they watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and then make a video game? That's kind of what it feels like. Not everybody was a fan of that idea, though. At least one person said they won't buy it because they are afraid of spiders. But Obsidian came to the rescue, tweeting that they're putting in an arachnophobia mode, basically taking out spiders for those who don't like them, but they still want to play the game. So, it's kind of cool. Wouldn't the other bugs still freak them out a little bit? They all kind of look scary. I don't know. Anyway. Grounded's game preview launches July 28th on Xbox One, Steam Early Access, and Game Pass. It looks like we're not going to get a big stage show rollout for the Xbox Series X. Microsoft recently said that all of its events will be digital only until July of 2021. So that's not this July, next July. A Microsoft representative told Eurogamer, in light of the challenges presented by COVID-19, we're adjusting our event calendar and strategy. For the remainder of 2020, we are embracing the opportunity to experiment with new platforms to provide our partners, customers, and developers the highest quality, digital-first experience. That is some corporate speak. I'm surprised they didn't say, we want to delight our customers. Of course, we've already seen a bunch of events like E3 get canceled. This is not a huge surprise. Pretty much everything else in the world has also been canceled while we all quarantine. But this year is the launch of course, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Interesting to see that Microsoft is locking it down for another year at least. But you know what? Better to err on the side of caution. All right, time for a 5-second review. Dang, it's been 23 years. Man, back then I was still pretty old. All right, let's look at the games coming out next week. First up, not a game, it's an expansion, the Wastelanders expansion for Fallout 76. Wastelanders takes place 1 year after the base game begins. Some of the new details are small, like the fact that your Pip-Boy now reflects that the year is 2103. Some changes are huge, like NPCs, factions, and updated locations. The people who have flooded into Appalachia have been hard at work setting up their own settlements, safe havens for people. The two main new locations are Foundation, the home of the settlers, and the Crater, home of the raiders. Both settlements act as hub locations where players can trade with NPCs and pick up quests. But Foundation and the Crater aren't the only places you'll encounter other humans. In fact, NPCs are spread out across the map, including Lacey and Azella, who you'll meet right outside Vault 76. You'll encounter them both whether you're starting with a new character or coming in as a seasoned vet. It releases PC, PS4, and Xbox One April 14th. Moving on, Hellpoint is a dark and challenging action RPG set in a heavily atmospheric sci-fi universe where the line between science and occultism is blurred. Once a pinnacle of human achievement, the Irid Novos space station has fallen. That's not good. Its ruins are now overrun by cruel interdimensional entities acting as puppets of the malevolent cosmic gods. You have been created by the author, originally printed on Irid Novo, and sent on a mission to find out the unholy series of events that led to the catastrophic incident known as The Merge. It comes to PS4, PC, Xbox One, and the Switch April 16th. In Boot Hill Bounties, Bronco County is on the brink of war. To save their homes, Kid, Doc, Moon, and Rosie must hunt down the 5 legendary outlaws in this charming retro RPG Wild West adventure. Boot Hill Bounties is the second game in a series that sees Kid and his companions journey deeper into the darkest corners of the Wild West and come face to face with the evil Creed Little, Stampede Sally, Tuco Delgado, Scorpion Saint, and Burning Crow. An epic Wild West adventure packed with excitement, intrigue, terror, and the occasional dose of humor. It comes to Switch April 14th. Can Androids Pray Blue is the definitive edition of the critically acclaimed 3D narrative game about 2 angry femme mech pilots at the end of the world. And God. It has a comma and God at the end of the description. Okay. It features a critically acclaimed tale by the narrative designer of Hypnospace Outlaw and Skatebird. There's a sitcom-length, emotionally charged story, as well as an immersive cinematic presentation. I love these descriptions. It comes to the Switch April 16th. Next up is Save Your Nuts. Always a good idea, especially if you want to have children. In this game, crafty squirrels organize a tournament to challenge other animals in a physics-based competition for the ages. Make daring plays alongside your teammates, grab food power-ups, and tackle your opponents to steal their nuts in this wild, multiplayer-focused party game. It comes to Switch and Xbox One April 16th. Hyper Jam is a fresh new arena brawler with a dynamic perk drafting system that makes each match different from the last. The hard-hitting fusion of lethal weapons, stackable perks, furious combat, and a killer synthwave soundtrack makes Hyper Jam a multiplayer experience that'll keep you coming back for more. It features fast-paced multiplayer arena gameplay for 1 to 4 players. Annihilate your opponents round after round using katanas, rocket launchers, sledgehammers, and more. I feel like I'd take the rocket launcher in that situation. And after every round, players must choose new perks that stay with them for the rest of the game, stacking and combining with their existing ones to create more powerful effects. A wide pool of distinctive perks ensures no 2 games are ever the same. It is out for the Switch April 17th. Guys, that's all the news I've got for you for this weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Shout out to the service industry workers out there, everybody who has to go to work, everybody who works in healthcare, grocery store employees. Man, I got nothing but love for you guys. No D's nuts jokes. I just love you. Just kidding. You can service these nuts. Boom, boom. Got y'all. Just kidding. Love you. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.
Even though there was a lot of drama heading into this weekend's BlizzCon, the developer made it clear that it was not backing down from its controversial punishment of a Hearthstone player.
Yeah, interesting. So at the start of the convention, Blizzard president J. Allen Brack, or Jab, gave an emotional apology, or seemingly emotional, I don't know, for Blizzard's response to what he called a tough Hearthstone esports moment.
That's amazing.